Hey, Spectre Jimmy, or doing live? It's me, Spectre1000 here. Come and show the video in this video. This is the second video this week. And in this video, I am going to be turning the four cardinal heroes, into elementals. The first one I do is, the bow hero as an air elemental. Then I do the sword hero as a water elemental, and then the spear hero as a fire elemental, and Alpha Immotani, aka the shield hero, the only one I've memorized fully, as a earth elemental. So without further ado, let's roll intro and let's get into this video, and let's go. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Hey everyone, Cameron here. And, well, let's say I am going back through some files, and I found that there are a lot of recurring creatures. Creature types. Like, there's that shield golem, then there's that shield dragon, and then finally, to complete the three, there's mostly elementals, dragons, and golems in this world, but there's a few other types. The first one we're going over is an archer type. Is that bow thing. It's a air elemental. Creature named air elemental archer, or common name archers. They do have the red eyes of your standard elemental, but their wind body is, well, how do you say this? It's pretty much your standard humanoid looking wind form, but it actually is more on the smaller side, around 5 feet tall. Pretty tall for an elemental. Oh, who am I kidding? Not really that tall. And then there's the two little arm endings of it. One is an actual freaking bow, and the other one is, how do you say, a arrow. It can shift into actual arms, but it always keeps the bow at the ready. So that way it can take out opponents. They're mostly known to be able to fight fire elementals like there's no tomorrow. But they're also known to team up with 3 others, but on very rare chances they do team up with the third one, which is the final one. It just has some sort of weird trust. From what I've been able to tell, that even includes all the way into the human versions of the golem, of the elementals, sorry. And this one has the ability to actually somehow control some other parts of it, like it has the ability to control it has the ability to use magic not of its elemental type. That, something like thunder magic, or better known as lightning magic. Thunder magic is really just a offshoot of regular old lightning magic. It's just more or less the sound. But trust me, it's really just air magic mixed with lightning magic. It's very fast, taken from the lightning part, and it can burn pretty bad, also from the fire and lightning part. But also, the blast in sound is that of thunder, hence the name of that move, Thunder Arrow. Not to mention they're a huge pain in the arse to deal with, and they can be stupidly prideful. And that's quite common. Let's get to the next one. The next one of these creatures I'm talking about is a water elemental known as the Ice Steel Blade. Now, this one is the sword out of the a bow, sword, spear, and shield. This one is by far one of the best hand-to-hand combat. Now, when I say that, I mean it's really freaking good at hand-to-hand combat. But throwing in its natural other limb, the sword, you're just asking to be sliced and diced like there's no tomorrow. Like the name suggests, it has the ability to, well, not really the ability, but it's one of its limbs is a piece of ice that's hard as steel. But not just that, it's also imbued with magic that makes it even stronger. So, in general, this thing is just a giant pain in the butt to deal with. It is also very strong. And magic-wise, it has the ability to use something like Fire Slash or a Meteor Storm. It's a mix between being able to summon meteors is a type of magic that's when you fuse earth magic and fire magic together. It's a very, very powerful spell, and trust me when I say that it's quite uncommon for someone to be able to use it. And for a creature like this to be able to use it, it's a giant pain in the butt. I really, really, really don't like these types of creatures because they don't really protect the humans like they're supposed to. My dad told me, the overseer, told me that he originally made them to protect humanity. And he also made some to be the opposite of protecting humanity. So, to really balance things out. My dad is a demost, yes, but he more or less tries to focus on equaling things out, but giving humanity the favor. He just likes making dragons and creatures, but he accidentally sometimes makes things pretty violent. He mostly makes things in anger that are violent. So, he's mostly focusing on trying to create creatures that can actually help humanity. So, there's that. But back to this one. They have ice-like armor, and they are fingers. They have five fingertips on one arm that are made of ice. And when I say that the ice on these are strong, I mean it is strong. Like it is very dense and very strong. It's on par with regular steel in general. That's before it infuses magic in it. And the best one to use is water magic, but has the ability to use any type of elemental magic. Now let's get to the next one. Now, y'all remember the spear dragon I told you about? The smirking douche spear, for short? I was very, very tempted of calling this one the douche spear flame. But my dad told me he already had a name for it. I'm still calling it the flaming douche spear, but for these files, I had to put in the creature name and common name that are the actual ones. But I am writing this on the file underneath its flaming douche spear. I really hate the creature. Okay? Anyways, the reason why is because it more or less doesn't really do anything. It's a giant, prideful creature. It stands at 6 feet tall. And this thing, like you could have already guessed, is a fire elemental. Creature name is Fire Elemental Spearfernal. Or the most common name of Spearfernal. Sorry. Its rock-like main body is pretty much that of standard armor. That's made of titanium. Trust me, that stuff is pretty high grade and really strong. But it also is imbued with a little bit of earth magic to keep it alive. All modern fire elementals are offsprings of creatures that have parts of fire or part of earth elementals. And the pure fire elementals and the originals, what they're called, the primordial elementals are still alive and kicking. They're just very hard to find. And because they're stupidly powerful in nature. But these are descendants of more or less they get their fiery side from their pure ancestor and they get their combat nature from their primordial ancestor. These are a rare offspring of a regular fire elemental. Well, not fire elemental. A primordial fire elemental, meaning a pure fire elemental. It's a very rare chance. All of these are part primordial and part pure air elemental, or water elemental. But these are very, very powerful creatures. They are by far the secondary most powerful. And that is next to the sphere one, which I'm going over next. They are, like most fire elementals, known to be able to be found in volcanic-like terrain, but it's also found in some areas near forests and villages. It really just tries to help, but in reality makes things worse. And it doesn't really help at all. So, let's get to the next one. This last one, by far my favorite. I said by far twice. This last one, by far, is one of my favorites. It is a earth elemental. Not the strongest elemental type, but this one is the strongest out of all of them. It looks like your standard earth elemental until you get to one of its arms, most notably the left arm. It's in this shape. The beginning of it looks like your average crystal, but it's very clean, weirdly enough. It is also in the shape of a small shield, these things are known to be able to shed their gems and regrow them over like a month. They are also known to, sometimes if you can afford it, you can have the actual gem be kept into a shield and to be made to a full shield with some metal coating it to protect the actual gem. But then if you're not that rich, or you're not talented enough, you have to get a fragment of it. You can sell most of it for a good profit, but you can sell it for more if the value of these things is more than the actual final product. But you can get a small fragment of it and get it into a shield, and trust me, it's a very powerful defensive weapon. It's also known to have the ability to, use very, very high tier fire magic, and that's also including wind magic and water magic. But it also can, if you're enraged, your defense increases drastically. You also get a good attack bonus, but the cost, you're quite chaotic when you're trying to attack. Yeah, these creatures are sometimes known to be known as loners, but they are actually quite commonly saw going around with some of their golem or dragon versions of themselves, of the creatures, but they're also known to travel with two other elemental types. One, weirdly enough, one is actually they're all hybrid elementals for the record. The two it travels with. It's all 4 elements put into one, so it's a pretty powerful creature. But these are, and for the record, I forgot the name. Creature named Earth Elemental, Grounded Sheild, and the common name is, Grounded Sheild. They mostly, for the record, do look like your average Earth Elemental, sorry. But with the fact that they are 7 feet tall. So, and the shield arm, they are quite noticeable. And the shield arm and their eyes are 2 different shades of green. Their eyes are a darker shade, whereas you can somehow mistake the shield gem for being something along the lines of a grassy green. And, that's all the creatures for today. Hope y'all enjoyed today's video, because that's all that I got for today. Until next time, subscribe today to join the Spike Army or Demos Alliance. Goodbye and peace out, everyone.